So while we weren't surprised that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service proposed to downlist Florida manatees, we all know that there's a lot of political pressure to do so. We were surprised that they included the whole species, the whole West Indian manatee. We had thought they might subdivide the Florida manatee from the Antillean manatee, which are the manatees that live outside of Florida. When you look outside of Florida, there are pretty much about half of the whole West Indian manatee population is the Florida manatee. So we've got about 6,000 manatees in Florida, and it's thought that there are 6 to 7,000 distributed through the whole rest of the range. So that includes the Caribbean, Central America, and it's a very wide range. And what ends up happening, best we know, because the data in a lot of these other countries is not as comprehensive as what we have for Florida, but you have these little populations. In some countries, like between Mexico and Belize, it's believed, since those countries are next to each other, it's believed that manatees, from Mexico to go to Belize and Belize to Mexico, vice versa. And so you have, sharing of genetic information, and ideally, that's what you want to help keep the population more robust and keep the genes flowing. But that's not always the case. Manatees in Belize are not intermixing with manatees in Puerto Rico or Jamaica. And so what ends up happening is you have these little islands of manatee populations, just as you have islands spread throughout the Caribbean Sea. So you're not getting a lot of exchange. So when you think about, a whole species, theoretically you're getting exchange among all the different areas, and we know that that's not happening. And then also when we look at these other countries, so many of them are facing the same sorts of development concerns and threats that we have in Florida, that we've experienced. In Belize, they're seeing more coastal development, they're seeing more boating pressure. The number of manatees struck by boats has really been on the rise in recent years, and we start to see these threats to the habitat in different countries. Definitely the protections are not universal from country to country. The Fish and Wildlife Service in their 12-month findings said that in over 80% of the range of the whole species of the West Indian manatee, the population was either unknown or declining. So to have more than 80% of the population, to have the status unknown or declining, definitely doesn't seem like a solid ground to be able to say that you could downlist.